Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tobin Industrial once again, and today I'm doing another review on another radio. Today we're looking at a Uniden President MC480, and it is a marine radio. Just going to do the layout for you. Basically it's a pretty simple layout actually. We have right here is your 4-pin mic, and it is a Uniden mic, the original Uniden mic with it. And here we have a dimmer switch, which if we turn down, it certainly turns down the digital readout and the lights on the radio. Up above here is the volume and on-off button, and we have the squelch button right here. Currently we are receiving Coast Guard radio via probably Port-aux-Basque, St. John's. Port-aux-Basque, Newfoundland, I should say.
Mariners are reminded that Canada has strict anti-pollution regulations and enforces them.
The volume button, as you can tell, is a little bit scratchy. That needs to be cleaned up. Now, okay, we have on the bottom a switch here, which by all indications 1 watt is up and 25 watts is down. So the radio can put out 25 watts, and I will show you the heatsink on the back briefly. So when it's on 1 watt, the red light comes on, and obviously TX and RX I'm not going to key up because it's a marine radio and I don't want to be transmitting where I should not be transmitting at this time. And this switch here brings you to emergency channel 16. Just flip the switch and away you go. Now there is 40 channels in the radio, but it appears like you can go through twice, and I think there might be a total of 55 channels in all, because they'll cycle through. A bit difficult to explain because the rotary dial will go around once, but it goes around more than once actually, so it's a bit difficult to explain that, but it does do 55 channels, although it seems from this point, if I bring it back to that same point, there's 40 channels. It can TX on the frequencies between...
Bravo 10 from 97,
excuse me a second.
Your 17 on.
That is my scanner that you've been watching your videos on, and I apologize for leaving that on. Anyway, as I was saying, you can TX on 156 megahertz to 158 megahertz, I believe, and it can receive RX on 156 and up to 163 megahertz. It is made by Uniden. Like I say, it's a President. I was really surprised because I'm used to seeing some Uniden Presidents and Uniden Washingtons, which are CB radios. And as you've seen in my previous videos, and probably in the rear here, this is a Uniden Washington CB radio. Anyway, it is the MC480, and now I'm going to give you a view of the other parts of the radio. Okay, we are back once again, and as you can see, for 25 watts, obviously it's a good idea to have a heatsink, and this is our heatsink here along this edge, which dissipates heat from the radio, keeps it running cool. We have a external jack here. It's called remote, but it's for a PA speaker, an external speaker, and we have the typical jack that takes the PL259 adapter, and of course we have our powered up here with the 3-pin standard plug-in that you see on many radios. I will try to get in focus for you the plate of the radio. Let's move this for a second, and so you can probably get a look at that. You might be able to pause and see the information that's on there. I apologize if not. I do have an issue with the camera. There you go. That's about as clear as it gets. So that'll give you an idea what the plate looks like in the information. Certainly VHF marine transceiver, as it says. And you may even be able to pick out the serial number. The final thing I want to point out to you is the sticker that's on it. It's from Coast Guard Canada, Canadian Coast Guard, radio telephone channel. That's mentions channel 16, which is the distress safety calling channel, not to be used as a working channel, it says. And you can read the bottom part there: calling and working, intership, CG radio stations, marinas, and the broadcasts. And it says East Coast and Great Lakes. That's the sticker. I guess that's what it represents, the information and the rules and regulations covered for this radio in our area, which is the East Coast and Great Lakes area. Okay, now we are looking at the internals of this marine radio. And the first thing I did notice when I have the top taken off is that there's crystals in here. One here, here, and here. I wonder, is there any more? Yes, there is. There's one over here. And I'm thinking, yep, there's one here and here. Any more? Would make sense to be 3 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's probably, based on my novice experience with radios, is that there's 3 transmit and 3 receive possibly. Up here in this area here, you may not be able to see it, but I can, is the circuit board number, and it is the Papa Delta PD dash 094 Alpha Bravo 094 AB. It seems to be a well laid out radio, nothing too complicated, and looking for some common circuitry, but like an IC that I would recognize, but nothing really that stands out. But anyway, I'll give you a little sneak peek now of the side here. I think there's an audio IC in this area here, and I can't quite make out the number on it, so I won't bother to go into that detail. But there is the regulator, or possibly, well, it's certainly an IC and possibly a regulator, and those of you that are watching may know better than I. And I see a chip here. Okay, finally. Oh, very, very interesting. It is MB8799. Just one moment, folks. Okay, I think it's quite possible it might be a better focus than what I thought, but we have an IC here. It is a Fujitsu ICDF symbol there, made in Japan, and it's an MB8789. And the bottom reference number is 8338 Charlie 15 C15. Interesting. I never thought that kind of chip would be in there, but obviously it's one of those components that is probably popular. I don't see anything else that really stands out to point out to you at this space and time. However, I will let you have a peek up to what is kind of like, I wouldn't call it the vertical board, but I would call it the horizontal board, I guess. And it's well laid out. Looks like it's well built. And I've had a little look at the radio, and it just seems like it hasn't been tampered with. It looks like everything is all original. The bottom, of course, if I turn this over, and by the way, I had to break the seal. This was sealed, so it probably was never opened, but there was a date on this, maybe a repair date, and it says 06/13/02, so possibly maybe 2006 or 2002. Hard to say. Anyway, here's the speaker bottom, and I'll see if I can sneak this up for you. Oh, it comes up. Just 1 second. What do we have here? Okay, perfect. Here's a better view of that horizontal board, the angled board, I should say. And the circuit. Oh, the circuit board looks really nice, to be honest with you. Looks really, really nice, I gotta say. Yep. And I don't see any other vital statistically in components. No other. Just had a little temporary glitch with the camera. Rolling again, of course. You just heard Radio Nuts chat line getting on the go again. I've been there this evening and I told him I had to do a video, so we're going to avoid him for the time being. Hang in there, Radio Nut. We'll be back shortly. Anyway, have a little look at the speaker, if we haven't already done that. It looks to be all original. So put this back. So there you have it. Uniden President MC480 Marine Radio. I hope you enjoyed the video, and look forward to more in the very near future. I have a lot more equipment that I've recently acquired in a barter, and well, not a lot more, but there's a few more pieces that's probably of interest to some people on YouTube, and I will be doing videos on them. So I'd like to thank you for viewing my video, and I'd ask you to please subscribe. Thank you, and good evening.